Well, everybody, welcome to week 3 here in criminal investigation. This actually marks the halfway point of the course, so it's quick. Hopefully everybody's keeping up. I know it's a whole lot of material to cover in a very short time. For those of you who are out here doing the mock crime scene, it was kind of interesting to work with you. I think I knew everybody from either previous online classes or from being in my face-to-face class, or even from being in the police academy here. But it was really nice working with you. I hope y'all got something out of that. And we'll go from there. Let me go ahead and get out of the way, so we'll talk about what's going on this week. And the first thing we'll go ahead and talk about, since we are just mentioning the crime scene report, the report is going to be due as one of the items due this coming week. You'll need to submit the crime scene report, your PowerPoints, which are available, and I'll show you where they're at. Go to this mock crime scene page, and then right down right here. Whoa! It decided to jump back up. I've got all your crime scenes. You can right-click on it, hit Save Link As, and save them. What you'll need to do with those is to give me a description in the notes section on the PowerPoint presentation what each photograph was. You can also add the photographs here of your crime scene diagram and of your evidence envelope showing that you completed the information on them, and then your fingerprint cards if you want. Or you can submit those separately, just however it works out best for you. Just whichever method you want to use. If you were unable to attend the crime scene, and we got about half the class there, about half the class not there, then your research paper is going to be due this week. And again, hopefully you're already close to finishing it, but it was going to be either on fingerprints, DNA, or crime scene reporting. Here's the templates and so far to go on. You'll need to interview somebody in the field. Interview a police officer, interview somebody at one of the crime scenes. Doesn't have to be a lengthy interview. You probably just call the Sheriff's Department Identification Division, call a larger police department that will have an identification and crime scene unit, or just stop a police officer and interview them on the topic. So it shouldn't take you that long. Shouldn't be that hard to find somebody. 1,500 words. That's not a whole lot. About 3 pages. Just be sure you cover the topic, cover each one of these fields, make sure it's in the APA format. And again, that's going to be due this week by next Tuesday night. Let's see if we can get back over here. What chapters we're covering. The first exam was taken already, and I think the scores were a little bit varied, but for the most part were very excellent. Everybody passed them. That's always good. Everybody that took them, I did have 2 that were for some reason weren't able to take them. Hopefully they'll get those done and get caught up, or whatever, get the computers working right and so forth. This week we're going to be having our second exam. And one thing that I did is I moved the due date on the discussion to the right before the exam is taken. So instead of discussion number 3 being due here in the 3rd week, it's going to be discussion number 2. I just kind of come to the realization that you were doing discussion on chapters that you hadn't read yet or hadn't watched the video on. So I modified that. So for this week, most of y'all did discussion 2 last week. You're already covered, and then you'll move on to discussion 3. And I realize these discussions are a lot of work. Get as much as you can, get as much information on them as you can, and you can look at everybody else's once you post yours, and it will help you in your something that you couldn't find. If you can't find it, you couldn't find it, but maybe somebody else did. So kind of look at those. The current material we're looking at, Chapter 21, you need to look at it before you take Exam 2, and it's on preparing and presenting cases in court. After you take Exam number 2, Chapter 8 will become visible. It's on death investigation. After you make a 70 better on that quiz, and take it till you make 100. That will help your grade. Then your Chapter 9 will be visible on assault, domestic violence, stalking, and elder abuse. And then, again, finally, the last thing that you need to do this week is going to be that research paper or crime scene report. Well, that's about it for this week. We'll talk to you later.